Hey there, Gunpla-tinners! Welcome back to another episode of Gunpla-tinum, and today I'm reviewing the Master Grade Deathscythe Hell, as appeared in the Endless Waltz movie. Now, if you're a 90s kid like me and you grew up on Gundam Wing and Toonami and all the other shows, this kit, or any of the Wing kits in particular, have a very special place in your heart, like mine does. And luckily for us, when Bandai decided to release the rest of the Wing kits, they decided to make the Endless Waltz version of the Deathscythe Hell a regular release, unlike the previous ones, which are from the movie P. Bandai's. I don't know why. Maybe they wanted to keep it like an angel and a devil, mix as a release, because they made already the Wing Zero regular release. But anyway, here's what I have. And if you've been keeping up with previous episodes, you're going to know that I'm not doing a full, point system. Rather, I'm doing more of like a scale. So A, B, C, and S. S being Gunpla-tinum type. And, same criteria as I used before. But just more realistic as to how I feel the kit would rank. So, let's get started with a full rotation of the Master Grade Gundam Deathscythe Hell, as appeared in Endless Waltz. So the color separation in this is really, really good. There was a couple of stickers for color correcting certain areas on the back. I don't even remember where they were, but honestly, you don't even need them. It doesn't come with too much in terms of the weapons aspect, but you know what? I don't feel like it's lacking. There's a whole lot of details in this kit. So everything that you see there is literally just decals and a couple of stickers. Sticker in here, right in the middle, sticker for the sensors, stickers for the eyes, and that's about it. Everything else is nicely color corrected. That goes like with all the reds that you see, and yeah, everything else. The kit doesn't have too much mobility like you would see in other types of, smaller scale or less detailed Master Grades, but it has enough that you're very satisfied with what you get. I mean, those wings, first of all, if you've noticed, like, my cameras, I had to put it really far out because just the wingspan of this thing is so big. It's beautiful. Those wings actually have a lot of flexibility as well. Like, the main selling factor for me is those wings. Not only do they look cool, they move cool. I mean, like, man, you could play with those all day, every day, And the articulation and everywhere else, I'm going to go into later on, but it's pretty standard for what you see. As for decals, I will note that the majority that you see here I've recycled from other kits that I haven't used, but this kit does come with a set number of decent decals, right, spread across, but there were other ones that I had to use from other kits. So to get this type of result in this type of detail, it didn't take too much. It's more like the Katoki style of decals that I use, like around the shoulders, a couple of the reds somewhere, I think, red here around the legs, that type of stuff, around the feet. But everything else, for the most part, it came with those. So keep in mind that, like, what you see is what you'll get with a kit. I actually didn't even really panel line this one a whole lot, mind you, because most of it is black and dark gray or purple, so there's not too much to do. But yeah, I'll show you another pose so you can see what it'll look like. This is what I call the kneeling position, and I find it's very important for kits to be able to pull off. Especially when they have so much engineering in the legs, it's nice to be able to see them, whether they can or cannot do this. Well, in some mobile suits, it's just not possible in a good way because they look like they're going to tip over, and in some other ones, they do it very well. This is a kit that's kind of somewhere in between, in that for rotation, you do get a nice bend in areas that you would like it to, like around here in the leg, over here, because there's nothing really catching in a bad way. I mean, like, if I didn't position it like this, that knee would actually give a very good bend. but the problem lies in its ability to actually be able to hold it, right, in a balanced way. This kit is literally gonna tip over at any moment right now. So while it does execute it in a point, it also doesn't, if you can get what I'm saying on that. Very nice bend on the elbows, right, as you can see right over here. That's as far as it'll go, but it's still within reason. My only concern is with the entire skirt armor. That's actually the most challenging bit of being able to move it, because you're going to need a lot of glue. Not a lot in excess, but you're going to need quite a bit of glue on each one of those waist pieces to keep them on. Because they just, for some reason, I guess Bandai didn't make them properly in here, but they keep popping off every time you move it for whatever reason. I mean, it's that waist is like a grenade. Everything else is solid. The wings are solid. The arms are solid. The legs are solid. But that waist, all those armor pieces pop. Just at any movement you try and do, especially right here in the back, they are very prone to coming off. So be careful with that. If you have the kit and you're planning on getting it and you want to move it around, make sure to keep in mind to catch those, because it's going to pop off on you a lot. Like a lot. Now let's take a deeper look into these legs, right? So right here you have a nice bend, like really good bend on the legs. Unfortunately, it's not feasible to do on the ground like a kneeling pose, but you know what, in the air, that's totally great. You do have a little bit of a movement on this heel, on the spiky. You definitely have a nice ballerina tip. Like I don't see too many suits that go down like that, but it's all good, right? Very good movement around the ankles. This is probably one of the better ones in the feet, I think, in terms of kits that I've reviewed. Better ones, not the best. Typical movement for the skirts, but like I said, a lot of it is prone to falling off. Decent move around the shoulders. I mean, it's not too much, but he gets a good flex right there, like get that chest popping, right? But yeah, not too crazy on that. The head's actually pretty limited. Like it doesn't do too much in terms of its movement. It can rotate, of course, but nothing fantastic. Like I've said before, this kit's, see what I mean? Pieces falling off. This kit's main selling point is in those wings, because that wingspan, ready for it? Bam, bam. And they move. So you have like a nice rotation in the back, like that. You got a nice forward movement because it actually closes up. But yeah, this thing's main point is in the wings. Now, before I got this kit, I did do a little bit of research as to what other Gunpla builders were saying about it, and noticed that the biggest complaint that people had about it was that it was very unbalanced and that it couldn't stand because of those giant wings. And even its other variant, the one without and a different color scheme, also couldn't stand on its own 2 feet. I don't know if I just got really lucky, but I have zero problems with that. I mean, I haven't done anything special to it. I just placed it like that. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that my rotating turntable is not the smoothest, but it's not having any problems standing up, and I didn't even stabilize the feet properly. So yeah, I'm good. As far as being able to stand up goes, it's solid. I mean, I really don't have anything more to say about that. I'm happy that I can do it. Okay, and this is for all of you fans from the series. If you were curious at all as to whether or not it could do this, well, there you go. It can actually go into its atmospheric re-entry form with the wings closed. And it's super easy to do. Like, it literally takes nothing at all to get into this pose. Obviously, there's not much that you can do once it's in this, aside from move the wrist a little bit and maybe the feet a bit. But the fact that it actually can do something like this and it looks good while doing it makes me pretty happy. Yeah, it's got an interesting vibe to it when it just looks like this, you know? But yeah, that's what I have for you. So this is just in case anybody at all was curious as to whether or not the wings could actually close and turn into this. And lastly, a couple of end notes. It doesn't come with too many accessories afterwards. Pretty much the only weapon that it has is that scythe. The other things that it comes with is a set of different hands, like open fingers and, you know, another gripping hand so that you can actually move the main hand that he uses to the right hand, because I got it on the left right now. Beyond that, there's not really anything else that it comes with. It's again, what you see is what you get, aside from as well, you know, the little peg so you can use a display base for it. But yeah, it's pretty basic in terms of what you get, and that's kind of a good thing in my opinion, just because it makes it so much easier to be able to keep track of what you have. My hands actually went missing before this review, and I haven't really taken the effort to look for them, but you know, I mean, it's otherwise a really nice thing to not have so many accessories for a kit, especially when you get so much with it in terms of everything else. In terms of cleanup, it was super easy because there's like the nubs, the position of the gates were well enough in that you can hide them very easily and don't need very much cleanup. I think the hardest part for cleanup was around here in the arms, which still shows a little bit of dark spots where they used to be. But beyond that, everything else is super clean. Like even the black, it really doesn't mark too badly, and everything fits very well. So I'm pretty happy with the kit. The only thing, and this is my just review, it's obviously an opinion, I would have to give this kit a C overall for a master grade kit. And the reason I give it that is because while it looks fantastic and it's just great to look at, it kind of is a grenade in the sense of those waste pieces. It does what we want it to do in terms of master grade form, in that it has an inner frame that is very dexterous, but it's limited by that waist area. And that's kind of my negative point to it. You know, it's kind of bordered between a B and a C because everything else is just great for it. But trying to pose this thing is pretty hard, and I can't see myself getting past that too easily. I can't see somebody else and you know, buying this thing and being totally satisfied, especially when, you know, there's the big chance of those pieces falling and getting lost somewhere. Beyond that, color, great. Mobility, okay. Grenade, terrible. Overall presentation, really nice. This is a kit that if I were to recommend it to somebody, I'd tell them you have to be a Wing fan to get. But that's all my time for now. If you agree with my vote for it or not, leave it in the comments. We'll be able to talk about it. If there's any questions that you might have towards the kit itself, please drop me a line. I'm more than happy to be able to respond to any comments or messages, any questions about this kit that I could answer because it's in my possession and I don't intend on getting rid of it. Yeah, let me know, right? And let me know what other things that you guys might want to see in future videos. I'm more than happy to take suggestions and, you know, just keep pumping content out there. I know I've been gone for a bit, but, you know, I'm trying to ease into the whole thing again. Anyway, that's all my time. Have a good one, and see you in the next video.